What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Watch the Lights. I'm Todd, and I had a couple people reach out to me and wanted to know about A-scale builds. So, disclaimer, I am no way in any shape or form an A-scale professional. This is my first A-scale build. I've only ran it a few times, once at a no prep event and twice at the track. It does really well. For my first build, I think it's pretty fast. Fastest pass on the prep track so far is a 176 at like 83 miles an hour, which is pretty good. So what today I'm going to describe and try to accomplish is for new people wanting to build an A-scale car, I'm going to show them how I built mine and the steps they need to do to build one similar to mine, and kind of cut some of the cost or guessing out and kind of just get down to the meat and potatoes of what it's going to take to build an A-scale. And this will give somebody a really good platform to get started with. Proline body on mine for the Proline C10. I cut it so it would fit. You don't have to cut it, you can notch it so the body goes around the wing. On mine, it's stretched. So I stretched it with it's a Typhoon stretched with a Talon chassis. So let's get into it and I'll show you what I got. So on this one, the original motor was the TP 4050 CM 2300 that I added ceramic bearings to. And with this motor on 6S, it ran a 179, 178 at like 73, 74 miles an hour. Now I'm running the Cordova Research 1430 2700 kV, makes like almost 8 horsepower on 6S. It's a great motor, it's a great choice. For steering on my setup, I'm running the MKS HBL 550 low profile. I use a Gropner controller, so all my stuff's set up with the Gropner Hot. I'm using the Hobby Star gyro. I know I always said I would never use one, but this thing's a monster, man. Kind of helps. For the ESC, I'm running the Castle XLX. And then I ran a Flow Pack 6-pack. I ran the Flow Pack 5-pack for my extra capacitor. To make the body fit with the Talon chassis, I added the 55 millimeter standoffs. These are from eBay. You can get them. They're made for quadcopters. So if you look under standoffs for quadcopters, you can find them. 50 to 55 millimeter works really well. For tires for street or prep, I went with the John's BSR Double X Pinks. They work really, really well. On mine, I went with Hot Racing chassis supports because I had to buy new ones because I went with the chassis, the longer chassis. So I stiffened it up with Hot Racing chassis supports, front and back. And then I went on with the spool. I went with the EM Performance spool. And I got rid of the stock battery tray. And what I did was I cut a piece of carbon fiber out and I took the battery tray, the original one, and I cut it and epoxied the carbon fiber to the mount so I could mount my carbon fiber plate onto the chassis without having to make any other modifications. So I could just have the carbon fiber battery tray so I could adjust the weight and not the weight, but the distribution of weight. So when my 6S is mounted on there, I can Velcro it in different positions for kind of use it as weight transfer. For a wheelie bar, I cut my own out of 2.5 millimeter carbon fiber. I took from Giant Scale Airplanes, this is a threaded rod. I think it's 3/32 or something like that. And then this is for Giant Scale also. This is a removable linkage. So basically I can pop it out, make my adjustments, leave it in, but I made it fully adjustable right here. So I drilled a hole right here with a threaded, because the gold rod's threaded all the way. So I threaded a stud into it and then just use nuts so I can adjust it really quickly. The wheels for my wheelie bar are from RC Racing Innovation, Steve Negri. These are 1.25" Durlin wheels with bearings in it, and then just mounted on the bottom, the 4 bolts right there. This whole setup's pretty simple. Nothing crazy, super simple to do. For diff fluids, on mine, I went 500,000 in the front, spool in the middle, 200,000 in the rear. My shocks, another really simple. I went 7,000 diff fluid in the shocks, 7,000 diff fluid in the rear shocks. So all four, all the way around 7,000. I adjusted ride height by adjusting the little threaded screw right here. I can't think of what it's called right now, but there's the threaded screw that you can see right here that goes into the A-arm, and it's adjustable, so it's right in here. And that's how I adjusted the ride height. Some people will put you know, like silicone tube in their shock to adjust the shock, but I did it all just right there. I wanted my shocks to be fully functional. I didn't want them to have stoppers in them. I used the biggest sway bar I could find front and back. I got the ride height pretty low. I didn't want a lot of offset in the dog bones. I feel that it works better, or it's more efficient when they're coming almost straight across. I'm just saying, for my setup or how I run it, I like straight across. I don't like having, you know, dog bones at really steep angles. You know, I feel that we get more efficiency when they're straight across and they're not facing up and at a steep angle. I took out on this too, you have the camber. I took it all out and made the wheels straight up and down, and I added a little bit of toe in. So when I take off, the toe in will push the wheels straight. So my wheels up front have just a slight amount of toe in. So when you take off, instead of them pushing back like this, they push straight. For gearing on this car, I went with a 43 spur, and my pinion I adjust from 18 to 23. That's kind of the range that I run it in. It's a basic setup, you know. I don't have a lot of time in it, but it is really fast. I only run it on 6S. I run it on 6S bricks. I haven't tried to step up to anything other than 6S. I think 6S is plenty fast enough. For settings in the ESC, it's pretty simple. I set the ESC, the Castle XLX. My start power for the street is medium. For the track is high. On the Cordova motor, I only run right around 10 degrees of timing, 12 degrees of timing. I don't want to add a lot of timing to the motor. Timing creates heat, and heat damages motors. So not a lot of timing. My throttle curve is very linear, just straight across. I don't have it pitched up really high or anything crazy. Like, the car's pretty much set up basic. I haven't got crazy with it yet. I don't have a lot of time on it, but for not having a lot of time on it, it has ran a 176, which is pretty good for only going out a couple times. But this is an easy way for someone to get into A scales. You can just go and buy, you know, the arrma Talon or the Typhon, and stretch it with the Talon chassis. You know, this is off of the body mount. I think it's off the Creighton. I adapted it so I could put the truck on it. You know, it's already got the shorter A-arms because it's a buggy. It's a good place to start. You can get the roller on eBay, and it's only $250, $225 for a roller. You can, if you look around, you'll find a chassis for like $25. For the spool, I went with EM Performance, but you know, there's a guy out there, Joseph Diaz, that makes a really nice spool. EM Performance makes a really nice spool. There's a lot of groups out there like GT Nation, Get Smoked, Atlanta, 132 foot, the arrma Typhoon Dan. Like, there's just so much information on A scales that if you really spend a little bit of time, you can find a lot of good information, but you got to put in the time. You're going to have to sort through a lot of posts. You know, there's a lot of guys out there doing a lot of crazy stuff with these. You know, the Puerto Ricans are probably the fastest in the world with these right now. They're in the 1.6s. Those guys have so much time. They have a perfect surface, and the guys that are running the 1.6s, like, this is all they run. Those are the scientists. Like, if you can get them to help you out or give you the information, you're gonna be like Rocket Man. Like, those guys are ridiculously fast. I've seen them run when I was in Texas. The dude ran a 161. Harry ran a 161 at 101 miles an hour. Like, these guys are ridiculous. I'm just starting. I'm working on getting there, but I felt that, you know, I had a few people ask, and I thought, why not share what I've done so someone can see this video and maybe it helps them have a little bit better grasp on where to start. And like I said, in no way, shape, or form am I a professional when it comes to the A scale. If it was 10th scale, you know, pro cars or the street outlaw cars, I got you. But this is a little new to me. I have had some help from some really knowledgeable people, so that knowledge I'm going to share with you guys, like I said, and that's my setup. This is how I run this car. It runs really well, and that's pretty much it. You know, like I said, just a quick overview. Shocks on my car are 7,000 diff oil. The front shock is a 500 weight. Rear shock is 200,000. So 500,000, 200,000. I'm running a Castle XLX with Cordova 1430 2700. My gearing is 4319. Pretty basic. If you have any other questions, message me. I can actually hook up my ESC and I'll send you screenshots of my tune if that's what you need. If you're just getting started out, please feel free to message me and ask me questions. If I don't have an answer, I know somebody that does have an answer. Will get you an answer. You know, I don't want to see anybody get frustrated with the hobby. That's why I started this channel, so I could help everybody starting out learn and give them a little bit of information to have a lot of fun. And that's it, guys, man. I'm going to do another video probably this week, and it's going to be talking about A-scale motors. I'm going to talk to you guys about rotors, lengths, widths, and the differences in performance versus, you know, a longer rotor, a shorter rotor, a larger rotor diameter, and how to shim it. And we're going to talk about that this week. And then after that, we'll get into 10th scale motors, timing boards, setting those up for 10th scale pro cars, stuff like that. I have some stuff coming from Tekin, or not Tekin, yes, Tekin. Sorry about that. I have some stuff coming from Tekin. When that stuff comes, what we'll do is we'll tune my motors, and I'll show you guys the tuning of my motors and how I set my motors up for my 17.5 car and my Pro Stock car and my Street Outlaw car. So if this video helped you, like, subscribe, check out the Facebook page, watch the lights, RC Racing page, and let me know what else you guys want to see. Like I said, I had a few people ask about the A-scale car because it was on the table. So I obliged them, got it out there. And like I said, this is just my car. It's not everybody's setup, but this is what I run. It's a lot of fun, and see you guys soon.